Hi gang, and welcome to another cartoonist breakdown. I'm Sean, and today I think I'm going to touch upon the idea of AI art. Well, not the idea of it, but my thoughts on the whole AI art, I don't want to say controversy. So, getting into it. So if you're not familiar with it, AI art is basically how it sounds: artificial intelligence created art, where you tell a computer and you type in like a whole bunch of prompts and commands, and it makes art, like depending on what you want to put in. And it could be abstract art, it could be whatever. Like if you wanted to make a Pablo Picasso painting, you would type in, my cat Felix, comma, Picasso painting, comma, orange. And it would come up with some sort of, what it would interpret it as a Picasso painting would look like. So, and well, and there's like a whole slew of companies now that are coming out of the woodwork left and right. I think the ones that's been going around, I think it's like Midjourney, I think it's like Starry AI, and one of the ones I use is called Wonder, or is it Wonderly? I don't know. So my thoughts on the whole AI issue is, I don't know. That's it. That's the end of the video. Bye, everybody. Da, 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 da. No, I do have thoughts. Well, it's. I mean, it's not so much it's so new now where you can't have like a discussion about it, because it's like, it's been out, let's say like 6 months to a year. It felt like it's been around for at least easily a year. It could be 6 months. And well, on one hand, I'm always still like, no, I don't like that idea, because artists are not getting paid. And it could affect a mini livelihood of artists, like digital artists or like visual 2D artists. Like, obviously, if you make, let's say pottery or, metalwork, obviously AI is not going to make that yet. I don't know. We'll find out. I mean, technology is always evolving, but it's difficult, and I'm still with everybody that, this is foul. People that claim that they're artists because they put in a couple prompts, and they want to sell their work, and it's like, it seems to me on the surface it seems a little disingenuous, but when you get deeper, you often kind of gotta ask yourself, what is art? So it's like, if they're being creative, I guess being creative is just putting some prompts in a computer. I mean, if you're putting a whole bunch of prompts and thoughts and stuff, I mean, technically that would be art. But I guess we're not really talking about that as the issue. The issue really is just more of like, where are they getting this art to kind of, for the AI to learn and base stuff on? And I agree with all the artists in this one, that they get it from like Google or ArtStation or DeviantArt, and without the like reaching out to the actual artist, saying like, just letting them know it's just been taken. And true, people have taken art from the internets for a long, long time, but to do it with this, I mean, it's one thing to have it, like to just have a JPEG on your phone, but it's another when, you know, you're teaching AI, because then the AI knows, and then who's to stop the person to keep making artwork that's based on this previous artist's work, like living or dead. I mean, oh god, what was this famous manga artist? Jito, I think his last name was Jito. I can't remember. But he had passed away, and like no more than 3 days later, someone was already making AI art based on it, on his work. And that's just despicable, because it's like you didn't even wait for the body to get cold, and here's some yahoo doing that. Like, come on, man. But I also won't condemn the technology. Here's why. So,
You got the kick?
one, it's out. There's no way of putting it back. It's out. It's already being learned. Things are moving fast. That's just how technology goes. It's just how it runs. As much as I would like to say, like, okay, well, let's stop, put a pause on it. It can't. There's no way it's looking back. Two, I'm genuinely curious of what it could be utilized for. Like, there was an image from my Patreon, and I think I shared it on the public web. Not yet, like the still image, I haven't shared that, but I know I definitely attached it onto one of these videos for my Patreon users. And, you know, I utilized AI art for the background. It was just something that I just was monkeying around and you know, I was like, okay, maybe I'll use this, you know, and I did. I don't remember my prompts for it. I think it was in the early stages. I had mentioned that I use Wonder. It's a free app on my phone, and you can do that type of stuff. I don't think I put any particular artist in it when I created it. Well, I guess here's the other thing too. When I create it, I don't put my name on it. I don't say, to me, it feels more of like a comic book where you're the writer and there's the artist. So you write the thing, the artist draws the thing. So I didn't draw this. I'm not going to put my name on it. Why would I put my name on it? I put in prompts. So, and I understand it's a computer, it doesn't say anything, but still, on my half of being a creative, I can't put my name on that. That just seems wrong. It's like I didn't have a hand in it. All I just said was like, make some this, or here's some pyramids and a sky, you know. Granted, you can be a lot more detailed in your descriptions when it comes to using AI, but still at the end of the day, writing and art are still two different functions. Like, I don't know why I did that. Like, you can't. Like, I can write stuff and I can use the writing to tell a visualization in someone's head, where the art is a totally different vehicle where you have that visualization, that visualization. I don't know why that's why it's so tough to say. The visuals. are different. Like, you see it in your head. You're using a different part of your brain versus when you're writing something and someone reads it. So yeah, like, I'm not going to put my name on something like that. It just seems disingenuous. I can say that word. Can't say visualization. Ah, I just said it. Anyways. But Eric Larson had put something on there on his Facebook page. If you don't know who Eric Larson is and you read comics, I don't know how you cannot. But if for those that don't, Eric Larson is one of the 7 founders of Image Comics, who has been drawing, writing. I don't know if he colors. He probably doesn't color. Savage Dragon for 30 odd years. And he said it best with, when it comes to the comic book stuff, well, I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but maybe I'll try to put up like his actual quote on the screen. Maybe it was a pretty long one, but basically it goes about how no one really kind of gave a squat when when digital lettering came in as a normal practice and putting all those hand letterers out of work, you know? And so it's like, yeah, this is just progress. But it still feels so very gray. But one of the others that I'm trying to get to is, it was a podcast, I think it was by Proco, and they were discussing that and like how you can, what you should do, or they're at least stressing some of the issues. And it was a pretty interesting conversation, I have to say. I'll try to link it in wherever I'm putting this at. It was interesting, and one thing I kind of really liked, and I totally agree with this, is like, I mean, when it comes to businesses, big businesses, they don't give a fuck. But I think that a lot of us, even though we can't put this back in the bottle, I think we at least need to be on the ground floor of like legislation, or like in the room with like these companies, the AI companies, like saying, hey, yo, this, and this, to kind of have like some sort of like financial prospect, or not prospects, like some sign of financial, what is the word? Compensation. You know, like if you're legitimately using someone else's style, you should be compensated for it. Like if you are doing Frank Frazetta, then you should credit Frank Frazetta or give some sort of compensation to licensing or something. It's like, that's what I think. You know, it's already bad enough artists can't make a living. It's a lot harder to make a living when the world doesn't appreciate art as much as they do, or as they should. I mean, art is everywhere. If you look right behind me, that is all art. But at least in the United States, it doesn't. It's always harder for art. But I think that we should definitely do something like that. And it's kind of ridiculous. As well as, or like an opt-out. Like, I think people should opt out if they choose to be, for their AI learning. You know? Like, if, you know, you find out that ArtStation is doing this, you know, just saying like, yep, we've opened it up to AI, to the database of ArtStation. Artists should have a say if they can say like, no, I don't want you to use my profile. It seems legit. It should be like that. So, but yeah. I definitely think that should be it when it comes to that type of stuff. Uh, Artistically wise, I don't know what I'll try to use AI art. See, I've also come into that pickle as well because it's like I'm interested to see if it could be utilized as a tool for my personal, my personal preferences. Like, I have projects, and as much as I like drawing the way I draw, there are some projects where I kind of wish, I can get like a certain type of art style. Like, there's a barbarian comic that I really would love to tell, and I've been trying to get it off the ground for years and years and years. Like, I draw up some designs and I try to get influenced by like stuff like Conan. Here, I'll bring out one of the books. Conan, the Barbarian. Like, I just love that. I love like all this figure and just the stories are not really up to really capture me too much. Or like Headlopper. Oh, I love this one. This was so fun to read. I'm just gonna bring that up. Look how cool that is. And the Headlopper actually made me think like, oh, maybe I can do this in my own work, in my own style. I don't really prize myself on my style that much. Because, I mean, people always kind of get stuck on their style and stuff. And it's like, I don't know. Maybe because mine came natural. Like, it just kind of started evolving. And, I didn't really take too much to it. It was just like, okay, well, this is the way I'm drawing. I never thought about it. It's just the way I kind of gravitated and drew things. If anything, I always strive to be a lot more simplistic in my work. Like, artistically, just try to figure out how can I get this idea in my head with the least amount of lines as possible. Also, the hurdle of trying not to be like that fictional voice in my head where it's like, you're being lazy, you need to draw more lines. And I'm like, no, I don't. Yeah, it's frustrating. Sometimes it's frustrating in my head. But anyways, going off of that, yeah, I would love to do like a barbarian story in the style of like a Frank Frazetta. Like, that would be kind of neat. And yeah, I could try to find an artist, but I don't have that kind of money. And yeah, I could be friends or maybe ask one of my friends to do it, but you can't complain about not being paid to do art when you do not pay the art themselves. You know what I mean? Like, I guess if it was a friend, like they were just all about it, or like, yeah, I want to draw it. I want to draw it. I was like, are you sure? I might consider that because they really want to do it. But then I just kind of have my reservations of like, okay, well, I'm not going to hurry this person because they're doing it for free, and it's not like I'm going to demand a whole bunch of stuff. And odds are they probably have it right anyway. Like, there's this one artist, he was asking me if I wanted to collaborate on something with him, and I said yeah. It was like a couple months back, but it was in regards of another friend that was going through some troubles. And it's, I generally, I think we talked about it briefly, like I wouldn't mind trying to pay it, because I mean, I don't know, that's my thoughts. Like, I generally, if I'm trying to team up with somebody, either it has to be a friend, and even my friend needs to get paid, or I prefer to pay an artist. But that's sidetracking what I was talking about. It would be kind of nice, to do that. So, but it still would be disingenuous of me. I might even answer my question. In my own head, my question was like, could I do that? If it ever came to that? And the answer would probably be no. Or I'd probably give it a lot more credit than it deserves. Whatever this AI is, it'd be like, story by me, art by AI, this, and this. Just list it and just have like the list of commands or the prompts that I use. So at least I'm crediting those that did it, or at least that the AI took from to kind of create what I wanted to do. But yeah, it's funny. It's an interesting time, and I'm kind of curious. I don't think it'll ever be rid of art, but I definitely feel like it'll have a very big impact on art in general. Like, for the business side of it anyway. So, I'm hoping at the end of this thing that we, as an artist, art industry, art community, will be better for it. Hopefully. I didn't mean to be all like, oh boy. But yeah, I hope. I hope that at the end of the day, the right artists are getting compensated for the work they put in.
Gets a kick.
And as for these phony baloney AI artists that are just like pumping out AI art and be like, oh, I've created. It's like, no. I hope they go away. I really do. I really hope they go away. And just stop. Just stop. Like, don't be disingenuous. Like, put in your prompts at least. Or say, hey, I wrote this prompt and this is what I got. I don't know. So, until then, everybody have a great new year. If you haven't already. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.